So, how y'all doing after Vecna slash Henry slash 1 literally shook Hawkins? The cursed town is still not completely free from the Upside Down's aftershocks, but gladly, we'll have another season to see the good riddance, hopefully. Now, we've got a direct update from the writers of Stranger Things, and we're sure you'll love it. We know we won't have to ask you to stay, because you will. First things first, what's the latest bomb that's been dropped about Season 5? Fans of the show are still hung up on Season 4, and who can blame them, as we're still processing the recent turn of events. Grab us some tissues before we start on Eddie Munson, but that isn't the case with the show's creators, and they're thinking about what to throw at us next. The Duffer Brothers have always been tight-lipped before releasing any season of Stranger Things. Remember how they don't even release BTS footage so it doesn't mess with the show's mood? But now the writers of one of the biggest shows on Netflix have officially confirmed that they've begun working on Season 5. Yay! And thank God they announced it beforehand, because we need to prepare ourselves for what Season 5 is gonna throw at us. We can't be caught off guard, right? On August 2nd, the writer's official account shared a pic of an almost blank whiteboard. The only thing written on it was Stranger Things 5. Also, in case you didn't notice, the writing was so good. So here's a pat on the back for the person responsible for writing it. Since the writers have completed their day one, let's guess what they would have done on their first day. If it were on us, we would have constantly complained how a difference of 1 second could have saved Max from coma. But they're the Duffer Brothers. They would have done something better, like deciding Will's haircut for Season 5. Sorry, Will, but we had to say that. That was the recent update. Now it's time to look at other updates from Season 5. Yep, there's so much more. Let's start with the good news first. The fans wouldn't have to wait for Season 5 as much as they've waited for the other seasons. Well, phew! Half of our life problems disappeared after hearing this. The Duffer Brothers told Variety that the time between Seasons 4 and 5 would be quite a bit shorter this time, and they don't think there will be another 6-month hiatus. They used their time in lockdown well, and have already planned what's going to go down in Season 5, and what direction their show will take. Well, we can count on the Duffer Brothers to stay true to their word. Now, it's time to talk about the Season 5 plot details. Matt Duffer said they've got a good feeling about the show's ending, and Ross Duffer promised us that they'd tie up all the loose ends involving the Upside Down and leave no room for plot holes. The brothers said all this on Netflix Geeked, and added that Upside Down would be the core of Season 5. Well, the brothers might or might not have wanted to give this info, but we know that Netflix has its ways of getting info out of people. Also, let's give you a heads up. Season 5 is going to be emotional, as it made various Netflix executives cry. Yep, that's true. When the Duffers pitched the outline of Season 5 to Netflix, they saw several executives crying who had never cried before. Wow, just the outline made the executives cry. We got chills thinking about what will happen to us after we watch the complete Season 5. We might just have a big spoiler. Seems like Netflix Geeked has extracted a lot of information from the brothers, because Matt told them that Max not being killed wasn't a writing cop-out, and her being in a coma would be hugely significant in the final season. Well, now we're really suspicious. Matt slipping out a big spoiler? Matt, please blink twice if you're being held hostage on Netflix Geeked. As if that information wasn't enough to make us excited, Matt said on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast that Eddie's death didn't go in vain. He's going to have huge repercussions on Season 5, and his death isn't serving a thematic purpose, but it has a narrative purpose. Also, the Duffer Brothers said that the show's characters were young, so they'd have to do a time jump in the final season that would explain the cast's visible aging. Next, we've got the locations and the duration of Season 5. What's more we know about Season 5, don't see it as a long season, as the tempo has already been set in Season 4. Matt said that the characters are in action, and they already have a goal and drive, and he thinks that's gonna carve out for at least a couple of hours. We also have the deets on where the action in the final season is gonna happen, and it's going to happen in Hawkins, Indiana, and the Upside Down, because the final season will be a tribute to the show's first season. Now, let's see what we can expect from the music front. Season 4 saw the revival of old classics of the 80s, including Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, and that went down well on socials. Despite this move becoming a hit, Matt said that they aren't going to do this again because they'll fail if they do it. Well, that's what Matt thinks, so we're not gonna pull a Millie Bobby Brown on him and let the creator do what he wants. Next up, this actor didn't even think that the show would get a second season. We just got an update about Season 5, but the fan favorite favorite character Jim Hopper, played by David Harbour, had no faith in the show in the beginning. Wait till you hear more. He wasn't alone in this. Turns out that some crew shared his belief too. Harbour shared a BTS with us in an interview last month and said that when they were shooting for the first season in Atlanta, with a budget of $220,000 that Netflix gave the show, he and some of the other crew thought that this show was gonna be a disaster. He remembered that his hair person came to him when they were shooting episode 4 and said that she didn't think it was going to work. So naturally, by the time the cast wrapped up the first season, David didn't think they'd get a second season and they'd go down in Netflix history as the show that didn't even get renewed for a second season. Not only that, but also our Jim thought that no one's gonna watch them. Well, things worked out, and we hope that the Duffer Brothers aren't too offended after hearing this. Lastly, a tip to the fans. Also, if you think that you can change the Duffer Brothers' mind about not making season 5 the last season by starting Twitter trends, you're wrong, because the Duffers have no plan of listening to you, and season 5 will definitely be a farewell. Well, it is what it is, but let's not be sad and stream all the seasons on Netflix again till season 5 drops. Now, for some other news. First up, Netflix canceled another show just after its first season. David Harbour didn't end up in a show that got canceled after its first season, but turns out that other actors aren't as lucky as him. The vampire TV show First Kill is the recent victim of Netflix's acts, as it just got canceled after the first season. The show was based on the story by the best-selling author B.E. Schwab, and fans of the author loved the show, despite there being differences between the show and the story. Fans are furious that their show got canceled, and since then, the hashtag First Kill Season 2 has been trending on Twitter. Also, Season 1 left with some open ends, so we can understand the fans' frustration. What's more is that First Kill isn't the first show that got canceled after its first season. Other shows that got the axe treatment include Cowboy Bebop, Julie and the Phantoms, and Archive 81. Next up, did the Duffer Brothers make changes to previous episodes of the show? Matt Duffer once told Variety that they've George Lucas some things that people don't know about, and by George Lucas, he meant retroactively editing Stranger Things. This started long Twitter threads and rumors about which scene he was talking about, and after starting all this, Matt conveniently took this statement back by tweeting from the writer's official account that no scenes from the previous episodes were cut or re-edited and never would be. Well, this makes us confused. So did they or did they not? Last up, we've got Vecna, who will read a few dialogues for us. Vecna was the reason we couldn't sleep peacefully for days, but Jamie Campbell Bower, who plays Vecna, has won our hearts with his recent appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, where he reads some of our favorite dialogues in Vecna's voice. The dialogues that got the Vecna treatment were from Notting Hill, Titanic, Cocoa Puffs, and Stuart Smalley Daily Affirmations. And he also sang About Damn Time by Lizzo, and that was our first time realizing that Vecna had a good voice. That's a wrap for this video. So, what do you think about all these Season 5 updates? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos like this. See ya at the next one.